Alright, welcome to Fortnite Gold, round number 3. We are just still getting set up. We will be starting very shortly. We are all ready to go here, but we are waiting for other XP leagues to finish getting set up. As you can see, uh, our alpha team is excited and they're getting quite antsy to join, but eventually we will be able to get in there once all the other XP leagues are ready. So stay tuned and we'll be getting started. Alright, we just loaded in, and we're waiting for all the other players to join. And once everybody's in, the battle bosses will be rolling out in just a sec. In the top left, we got Eagle, top right is Clinex, and then bottom left is Ricky. And as stated before, I will call him Ricky because I refuse to call him by his username, because that is a rude thing to do. Today, they have drop zone number 17. We do designate specific areas that each team drops in, so they will be dropping in, and in case you have forgotten, they cannot do any killing until either a storm surge kicks in or the third storm starts. So at the very beginning, what that means is that at the very beginning of the match, there will not be any fighting except for fighting wild animals and NPCs and basically anybody that isn't an actual player. Right, so they're dropping in. Looks like they're trying to figure out exactly where they want to go because they do have, even though we designate a spot for them, they do have some choices in that spot. So they're trying to spread out as best as they can so they can make the most. Alright. And don't forget, at the very beginning of the match, it's all about looting and grabbing materials. You need materials in order to build, and you need guns in order to kill. So that's what's going on at the beginning of the match. And another understated factor in the beginning of the match is scouting. You need to be scouting out for other teams and keeping a mental note of where you saw people so you don't get caught off guard once the killing does start. Alright, they're just bouncing around, gathering materials, grabbing loot. It's gonna be a slow early game. Nothing crazy is gonna happen, but because all the teams don't fight each other until that third circle starts or until that storm surge starts, that means there's going to be a lot of clumped up players later into the match, which means that there's going to be a lot more action now. So let's enjoy the calm and peace before all that craziness happens. A lot of cheery dropping going on, knocking down the trees. This is a great way to farm a lot of wood for your structures, and wood is probably the most common structure to build because it gets up quickly and it may have the lowest health out of all the building materials, but it has the best starting health and also builds itself the quickest, unlike brick and metal. Alright, Clinics just found himself a little chicken. Uh, looks, looks like he got bored with it really quickly. Found himself a chest. Chests usually contain pretty good loot, but not guaranteed to find anything super amazing. Two out of our three players have Spider-Man gloves right now. Preferably all three of them have Spider-Man gloves, because right now the Spider-Man gloves are probably one of the strongest items in the game. As I stated last match, mobility is king in these kinds of shooters. It lets you disengage and engage whenever you like. You can run away from fights that you can't take. You can chase down players who are trying to run away from you. And the Spider-Man gloves have great mobility, not just in the sense of speed, but also the amount of vertical mobility that they give you. So hopefully Ricky will be able to find himself a pair. And if not, like, he can always try to eliminate someone so he can grab a pair off of someone else later down the road. He does have a launch pad now, so if he needs some vertical mobility, he can place that down, and then stepping on the pad will launch him into the air and deploy his parachute so he can get away quickly if he needs to. Preferably, though, he would have Spider-Man gloves. Looks like we spotted another person, and we will have to take mental note of that, because as stated before, we can't kill anybody just yet, or even shoot at them. Alright, Ricky found himself some Spider-Man gloves, so now all three teammates have Spider-Man gloves, so now we are the ultimate mobility force. If anybody tries to get away from this team, it's going to be very hard for them to do. So as long as our team plays smart and stays one step ahead, they have the tools to outplay any bots that they'll come across. We also are full up on shields. We have plenty of ammo now. Our guns could be better quality, but it's hard to find the really good guns until late in the game. So right now we are looking really good. Right now we just need to get some materials. First storm's starting to close in, and then the second storm will start. And then after that one closes, then we can get to fighting, unless the storm surge mechanic kicks in. Alright, looks like we got 40 seconds left on the storm. Alright, we are having some technical issues right now, so sorry about that. We were having... Alright, looks like it resolved. Having some mic issues with some of our teammates. They should be good to go now, though. Alright, quickly pulling up. Ricky pulling up the map confirms that they are inside the circle, so that first storm finished closing up, and we were good to go. Now in 2 minutes, the second storm's gonna start, and as you saw on Ricky's map, they are already inside the second storm as well, so... Or inside the second circle, so they'll be safe from second storm as long as they don't go out of that second circle. Right now, we should be looking to try to figure out where all the other teams are gonna be, and scouting ahead, and hopefully grabbing some high ground. Maybe even build up a nice little fortress using some metal. which takes a while to build, but it's the strongest material to make your buildings with. One minute left until the second storm starts. Alright, 30 seconds left on the storm. We should be seeing the storm surge mechanic kick in soon. And how the storm mechanic, surge mechanic works is if the game detects that there hasn't been a lot of action, which of course there isn't because we have rules implemented for non-fighting at the beginning of the match, the game will try to start damaging some squads in order to encourage them to deal some damage, because how it works is it starts damaging another it starts damaging a random squad that has the lowest amount of damage. And since all the squad's damage is 0 right now, because they haven't fought each other yet, it will randomly target someone. It will give us a warning, so, yep, there's the warning. So now, the fighting will be starting very, very soon. So, they're trying to relocate themselves on the mountain. And now the second storm is starting to close as well. So let's see what happens. There's another squad that's currently shooting at them right now. They're not doesn't look quite sure. They look like they know exactly what to do yet. They're considering repositioning or staying on the mountain. It looks like ultimately they are going to go for the repositioning route. So they're going to rush ahead. And as long as they stick together, they should be fine here. But as soon as one of them gets left behind by accidentally messing up their rope slinging or anything like that, their other two teammates are going to have to come back. Alright, looks like we're on an island right now. We may be looking to set up base, which won't work because that second storm, we are outside the second circle right now, so the second storm will close in on us eventually. It's only going to take 30 more seconds until that second storm finishes closing up. And you can see it right over there, starting to slowly coming in. It's that big blue wall that's slowly starting to approach. Right, we are spotting already looted chests in here, so we do now know that there has already been another team here. Like we're doing some trading with NPCs, which is allowed. Alright, and then the second storm has just finished, and now the third circle has appeared, so we are currently outside that third circle, so hopefully Alpha will be looking to relocate and start doing some damage. Alright, looks like there are only 58 players, 57 players left, so there has been some fights going on the other side of the map, so let's see where Alpha ends up placing in this match. Hopefully number 1, and they get that victory royale. Well, it looks like Eagle's a little behind, which is not preferable. Ideally, they all stick together, because if they get ambushed, they need to be ready to back each other up. Alright, and looks like Eagle regroups with his team just in time as they spot another team, so let's see how they will handle this. Sort of two ways they go about this. They can either be the aggressors and push in on them, or wait for them to come to us. Looks looks like we're holding out in the house. We're gonna go for a bit of a stealthy approach and try to wait for the enemy team to push in on us. We're reinforcing this house with metal. And now it looks like we're looking to reposition it. Which does make sense, because if we tried to stay on that house, that storm would eventually have caught up to us and taken us out. So we're repositioning. But with 57 players still left in the match, and with the map being so small, it's very likely that every step we take, we're going to be stepping on the toes of another squad. So we will have to eventually start brawling here in a sec. Alright. Looks like we're inside that third circle, so we're gonna start basing up and start looking to gather more materials and play defensive. As you can see, Clinics is doing some scouting. He's doing a little trick here where he goes into edit mode and then edits just enough so you can poke his head out and check to see what his surroundings in, because the disadvantage of just hiding in a little hut that you make is that you don't know what's going on around you. So that's a little trick that you can pull to see what's going on around you without actually poking your head out and leaving it vulnerable to sniper fire. 52 players left. Looks like a squad or two was already taken out, so just by staying alive, our team will be able to earn some points depending on where they place, but hopefully we start looking for some eliminations, because each elimination is also worth a point, so taking out an entire trio squad is 3 points. Looks like they are looking to reposition again, because that third circle finished closing, and now there's a fourth circle, so now they're going to reposition again, try to stay ahead of the pack. They're looking around, trying to make sure that nothing catches them off guard. And they're going to start another little base. And they're going to rinse and repeat this until they either get pushed on or they're forced to attack someone else. 44 players left in the match, so there is definitely some fighting going on out there. And we do have some people close. We're starting to take some pot shots at them. But let's see what happens. Will they take notice and try to dive in on us? We do have multiple squads around us, so we need to be careful here, because if we get sandwiched in and have two squads pushing on us simultaneously, that could spell trouble for the Alpha team. $40 players left. Right now we're just playing it safe, getting some pot shots in, just trying to whittle down other team resources, not really trying to look to get an elimination ourselves, although that would be nice if we can catch someone off guard. Clinex managed to break someone's shields there, and he does get a knock. Will they follow up on it? Oh, he got 2 knocks. That would be a great opportunity to follow up on that team. Oh, looks like we won't be able to push, though, because another squad is currently trying to poke at us. We will end up finishing off that other team and getting an elimination, though. So we did just score an elimination, but our teammate did just get down, so we still need to play safe. That's the tricky thing about with so much squads around, is that you can't really push on other squads without risking other people trying to come in and take all your hard work away from you. They're gonna just eat some pizza, they're gonna heal up, and they're gonna try to scout ahead with that little edit trick again. We did score an elimination, so that is a point for us, and with only 34 teams left, we are starting to get fast approaching to hitting the top 10 for the squad, so that is very good to hear. Alright, looks like they're going in, and they're looking to take out another team. So let's see what happens. They are inside the next circle, so that's good to hear. They don't have to worry about that. 30 players left. They have now officially hit top 10. Already, they have conquered a monumental task, but let's see how high they can get. Alright. They're probably hearing footsteps all around them. There are tons of squads. Hard to see in the top right, but all that purple is areas on the map that you currently cannot go, so all of these people are currently squeezed together. And that circle is just going to keep getting smaller and smaller. 20 players left, so other squads have been dropping like flies, but our team's doing good, just playing defensive, and we're making sure other squads know that if they want to take us out, they're going to have to really commit a lot of resources, which is risky to do with other squads being around. So they're playing nice and passive, but ideally they should be scouting at this point. They are inside the next circle, so they are good to go. They took a pot shots at another one. They got another elimination, so that's another point for us. 17 players left in the field. That's 14 other players that we have to worry about in this tiny little circle. Oh, looks like another squad is looking to push in on us. We are quite cramped up together. A well-placed grenade could, or explosive could, cost our team a lot of health. So ideally we should be looking to either expand the structure or looking to push and take someone else's structure. But it looks like they're going to opt for playing it safe. 15 players left. So we have officially hit the top 5. Done a good job playing passive and poking when we can. But with so little squads left, it's inevitable that we're going to have to start doing whole brawls. People are dropping into our little hut here, and they're starting to take people out. We did just get another elimination, so that's good to hear. But we just got knocked, and then Clinics did just get eliminated. So now it is just Eagle. He's trying to swing around and just trying to stay alive. Clinics and Eagle just got eliminated, so now all perspectives are on Ricky, and he did get top 6. So great job by Alpha there. It was getting real tough there. There were a lot of teams around them. If we were playing a little bit more aggressive there, we could have had a better chance of coming out on top there, because if you just try to hold up, other teams are going to notice that, and they're going to only pick a fight with you when they're ready. We need to try to catch some teams off guard. So hopefully we'll do that in round 2. We'll be looking to get that set up here in a second, and stay tuned for that. Alright, welcome back. And dropped in, same deal as usual. Can't kill until third circle or storm surge, all that good stuff. Back at it with Eagle, Clinics, and Ricky. They're gonna be dropping in the exact same spot. So we got 6th place in the last match and 2 eliminations, which is a very good standing, but hopefully we can get an even better placement and even more eliminations this match, which I believe this team is totally capable of doing. We have a very strong team. Alright, they're spreading out in their drop location so they could cover as much ground as possible, grab as much materials as possible, then hop into the first circle as soon as the first one spawns. It will take 30 seconds for us to figure out where the first circle is going to be. So right now the main goal is loot and harvesting materials. Looks like we got some kills. No, those are just NPCs getting knocked by some people. It's good to hear. There should not be any killing going on right now. 72 players in the match in total. Someone just got knocked by falling off a cliff. Gonna be nice and calm to start off here. Not too much action going on. Gotta wait until the fighting starts. Harvesting materials, and for those of you wondering and who have never played Fortnite before, in order to get materials, you need to use your pickaxe or whatever skin you're using for the pickaxe in order to just straight up whack and break down anything in the environment. Trees, fences, cars, anything could be destroyed and turned into materials. See that Clinics has some strange shadow dagger going on there. That's what he uses to break down. And then we got a cool little pole vaulting for the other two players that they like to use. So you can change how it looks, but overall the mechanic is still the same of hitting something and then breaking it down and turning it into materials. Alright, looks like Ricky secured some Spider-Man gloves. That helped greatly in repositioning in the last match, so now everybody else has Spider-Man gloves, so we're back in the game. And still hold that potential power of quickly engaging, disengaging, all that good stuff. We have a taxi right here. We'll see if they use it or not. Vehicles can be very fast to use, but they also are very loud, so they might opt to just use Spider-Man gloves to navigate, which is what they looks like they're doing. For those of you wondering how the Spider-Man gloves work, is that you could sling onto anything in the environment, such as those trees or buildings, and they let you swing around, and they also uh, allow you to do some sliding tricks with it too. But as soon as you break the tether, say you knocked into something or someone breaks your web, or you just choose to stop slinging around, they go on a little cooldown, meaning that they can not be used for a short period of time. So there are limits to them, but they are still a very powerful item. Next is whacking some fences, getting himself some wood. First storm starting to close. 1 minute and 30 seconds, it will be all done, and then the second storm will start to form. Looks like we spotted another team, but we're just gonna have to pass on by each other. But we should keep in mind that we spotted them in Sanctuary. Always keep a mental note of where you spotted people, because they'll be coming from that direction when the fighting does start. Alright. Eagle managed to find himself a pretty powerful gun. When the guns are golden like that, also Clinics has found himself some powerful guns too. When the guns are golden like that, picking them up allows them to be even stronger than the original version of the gun. So there are rarity grades to the guns. Some are better than others. In terms of fire rate, damage, reload speed, all that good stuff. And we spotted another team. We can't fight them just yet, but hopefully they don't follow us. Stalk us until the fighting starts. Ten seconds until the first storm finishes up, and then the second circle appears. So let's go ahead and see if they are inside the second circle already. It looks like they are not, but they are close enough that it won't be any trouble at all getting to the second circle. So now 2 minutes, the second storm will start forming. And during that, we might see a storm surge warning, meaning that that's when the fighting could start, instead of waiting for the third circle to start. We're shooting at a crow right now, which is allowed, it's not a player. The crow is just another little way to get some extra loot, basically. Killing it gives you some extra goodies. We're still gathering some materials, or mats for sure. It looks like we are down to 71 players. Someone was not able to escape the storm, so need to be careful about that. Make sure to stay ahead of the storm and always be aware of it in Battle Royale games, because it can catch you off guard if you're not careful. Looks like we have a tornado getting loaded in, so it looks like we could take it for some extra maneuverability. The tornado does not do damage to us, but it also can mess with structures. And you can see it's tossing that car around, so if we try to build, the tornado might wreck it. It does allow some maneuverability, though, because you can fly with the storm and take your parachute. Alright, 5 seconds. The second storm is going to start closing, and let's see if we get a storm surge warning. Alright. Storm surge warning. That is going to kick off the fighting, so let's see what happens. I do not believe we have a team right on top of us, but with how close everybody's bound to be, I wouldn't be surprised if we spotted someone real quick. Eagle and Ricky do not have full shields yet, so they are going to have to play a little bit safe. They don't have that extra cushion to take bullets and allow them to make mistakes. We did inform them that if they are going to be bunkering up, that they make the structures a little bit bigger, so that they have more room to maneuver around and not get taken out by explosives, and also we also let them know to make sure to keep scouting and to keep an eye out for other teams, because high ground is king in this game, and if they catch us off guard and build over us, they're gonna have their way and how they want to pick the fight. So we have spotted another squad. We're taking pot shots at them right now. We're getting some whittled. We're whittling some damage in, but it did look like that Ricky just took a sniper shot, so he is quite injured. We get him healed up quickly, but we are draining some medical supplies. Alright, looks like they're pushing in on us. Alright, we don't want to bunker up too much if we... Alright. And it looks like they did a good job realizing that too. They decided to just book it the heck out of here. And that's the power of the Spider-Man gloves. If you don't like a situation you're in, you could just take them and just get the heck out of there. Alright. Looks like they're hiding in a bush, which is not going to work because surely that car is going to spot us, especially when we're shooting at them. So they're going to get out, they're going to start building. So we need to start building too. Alright. Alright. Sounds like everybody's debating about whether or not they should be running out of here or if they should stay and fight, which looks like they're going to stay and fight. That's a shotgun hit. Coming out of Eagle. Clinics is running low on health. Oh, they got another knock. Or rather, their first knock, so that's one person down. Let's see if their teams try to follow up and avenge their teammate's death. Doesn't look like it, so we're going to get away with that elimination. We're going to get lots of shields, and we're going to get lots of loot from that elimination. There are 45 players already that are only left in this match, so you can see that a lot of action happens, and that's why we do that no fighting rule before the storm surge, so that we can get a lot of intense action and a lot of close quarters engagement. Alright, 43 players left. Looks like we're getting shot at by someone, but we're gonna hold up. Hopefully they start making some holes or doing some edit text in order to see what's going on around them. Looks like that they're right on the other side of the wall. Ricky's getting pinned down. He's trying to build as quickly as he can. He's running low on health. His teammates have got to be there to back him up, or otherwise he is toast. He's gonna swing out there, but he gets knocked. Alright. It looks like that Ricky has encouraged his teammates to leave him behind. And hopefully they can go back and grab his reboot card and get him back in the game. But he did in fact encourage his other two teammates to live to fight another day. But hopefully they can get back. Looks like there's gonna be... That squad is not happy with that first elimination, though. They are coming in and trying to... Looks like they are just overwhelming the Alpha team, and they're slowly picking us off one by one. We're trying to build and heal back up, but at the end of the day, if we're not shooting back on them, nothing's stopping them from just keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. So now that leaves clinics left. Hopefully, we can go back and get the reboot cards, but if our pursuers have not given up the chase yet, it doesn't look like he'll be able to. 32 players left. We are going to get a few points at the end of the day if we manage to get high up in place, because we do have a couple eliminations under our belt, so we have already scored some points and did a good job this match. Let's see what happens. Clinics is just trying to hide out. With only him being left on the team, he's going to be looking to just try to place as high as he can. He can't really pick fights unless if it's to try to clean up and capitalize on someone else's fight. Right now, it's just looking like he's gonna try to hold out and wait for the other teams to fight each other. Doing another little edit tech so he can scout around, see what's going on around him. Gonna quickly make a hole, and he's thinking about poking at another team, but if he alerts them to their position and they realize that he's all alone, nothing's gonna stop them. Looks like he's gonna opt to take some pot shots. Right. 15 players left, so hopefully we have already crossed the top 10 threshold. Let's see if we can get into the top 5. Alright, he's gonna swoop in and try to grab some loot that's the other team left behind. He's gonna grab a bunch of materials, he's gonna grab some extra shields, so now he's looking nice and healthy, but still lacking those teammates, so he still has to play defensive. Oh, looks like another player spotted him. Let's see what happens. He tries to swing a ray, but a bullet does clip him. And if you take any damage while you're swinging, you're gonna get forced off the webs. He's gonna use the bounce pad to try to get out there now. And then now his Spider-Man gloves have refreshed, so now he can get out. Finds some extra loot, boxes himself in, drinks another shield potion. He's looking to just play survival here. There are only 9, now 8 other players left in the match, so if he could just hold it out, he might be able to secure a nice placement in the top 3. Hard to say how many teams are left. 7 players left. Looks like another person found him. And he finishes him off. Good try by the Alpha team. They placed 5th, which is nothing to sneeze at all. Top 5 is very hard to get. They did a good job trying to play survival there, but at the end of the day, Fortnite is all about those kills. So hopefully in the next match, they'll play more aggressive and be looking to get more kills in the next game. But overall, they did a very good job. They get of recognizing when they needed to get out of there whenever they could. Alright, so that will be it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be seeing you later.